So I got a lot on my mind. So I thought I'd make a fucking boring 30-minute video just talking about shit. Uh, so the other day, this kid from down the street who I sort of grew up with, um, he was a bully to me when I was younger, and my brother even beat the shit out of him because he tried to break my arm when I was young. But yeah, he comes knocking on the door, and last summer I had sort of hung out with him and this other kid. They were trying to fix up a camper so that they could get out of where they were and uh, go drive around and just camp. And I thought he was going with the other kid, but I guess he wasn't. So he's still at home, and apparently he gets like once he goes out for a cigarette, he's stuck outside. Um, his father won't let him come back in for the rest of the night. So he's basically living out in the cold, and that sucks. And I feel for him. Um, but I don't know. I like helping people out, but at what point do you say no? And I'm feeling guilty about this, and I don't know why. And I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to let it go. And so the other day he comes knocking. He goes, "I need a ride, a few towns over. I got to pick up some money from somebody." So I'm assuming he's buying drugs because he's a shady character. Uh, so I give him a ride. I'm like, "All right, fine." I go, "I'm an alcoholic, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, if we die, then we die." So I give him a ride, and he's directing me, which was nice because I didn't even want to fucking do it in the first place. But I can do somebody one favor. I can't babysit people. So we drive over there to this like shady fucking um, scrap yard, whatever. He's taking forever. I'm smoking like half a pack of cigarettes. Like, am I gonna get shot? Like, what's gonna happen here? And he ends up coming back to the car, and everything's all set. So we go home, and he's on the way home. He's like, "Oh, can you do me a favor? Can you stop at my buddy's house real quick so I can pick up some weed?" And I was like, "Yeah, how far away is it?" And it's like, "Yeah, it's probably like about a mile from here." It's like, whatever. All right, let's do it. So we go there. I'm like parked next to a fucking playground, and I feel sketchy as hell. I'm like, what the fuck am I like? What did I get myself into here? And this car pulls up behind me, and there's another like drug deal going on. Like, his two cars pull up, and these guys walk off into the playground, and probably my age, and then they come back, and they don't leave, and I'm like looking in my mirrors, like, what the fuck is going on here? And eventually the guy comes back, and he gets in the car. We drive off. We get back to where we're supposed to be. Because keep in mind, he lives up the street from me, so we're going to the same place. Um, and he gives me $10, and I can get a pack of cigarettes without having to worry about going to the bank and cashing checks that I'm sitting on. So that was good. All right, good deal. That's a great deal. That works. And then today, he, I'm like, I'm lying in bed in my boxers, and I'm like, trying to think about. woman, and like, just I'm like, my dick's hard and shit, and like I'm hugging my pillow, and like my father starts yelling, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, yeah, there's some kid out here looking for you. And so, so I'm like, I know exactly what is going on now. Get dressed, go to the door. He's like, hey man, you're like the last person I can ask. Can you give me a ride back to my friend's house? And I was like, there's too much going on. Like the idea that I was even like I was lying in bed. I had just woken up, and I had like morning wood, and I'm trying to think about a woman and like just be at peace with myself. And on top of that, like when an alcoholic starts their day, uh, you want everybody out of your way. Like you want to you want to go smoke your first cigarette of the day and just relax. So there's too much going on. Like I was like, you know what, dude? No, I can't. I'd like to. I like to help people out. I consider myself sort of an altruist in a way, when I'm not, offending people and hurting them. It's push pull, but I was just like, no, I really can't. He's like, he's giving me like puppy eyes, and I'm like, dude, I can't. I don't wait for one of the neighbors to pop up or something, or I don't know, dude. You gotta have like something. And he's like, yeah, I need $50 to get a phone so I can get back into work. And I'm like, dude, you've asked me like three separate times over the past year about, hey, is FedEx hiring? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, just apply and you'll get a job. And he's like, oh, all right. And I was telling him all the details and stuff, and how things work there, and what it's like and how much money you're gonna make. You know, it's like I'm pitching a job to him, and he never applied. And now he's like telling me, "Oh, I need to get back into work." Well, dude, I don't know, man. I'm not your babysitter. Like I can only do so much for you. I did you a favor the other day. That's about all I can do right now. I get too much going on in my head, and my parents, frankly, don't want random people knocking on the fucking door. If God forbid, I order food, they flip the fuck. They're like, John, someone's at the door. It's like, all right, you don't have to panic. It's just food. But I don't know. I sort of feel bad about it, but at the same time, I don't know what the hell the guy is doing, so I don't trust him. So I don't. First of all, I could get myself in trouble for A, driving, B, helping him pick up drugs, and I don't know. It's just stupid. I fucking hate it. I hate that I have to analyze these things so deeply, like just get into all little fucking details. I don't like it. I have enough of that shit at work. I honestly do. And then so I'm like, yeah, I gotta go somewhere with my father. Like, yeah, because we were supposed to go to a bookstore, um, and so me and my father are talking for a little bit. He's like, so who the fuck was that? Like, just like, what the, why is there somebody on my doorstep? And we end up going out having a smoke, and the kid walks by again, and me and my father are looking at each other, and we're like, eh. And the kid comes over like across the neighbor's lawn. He's like, hey, can I get a smoke from one of you guys? And I was like, yeah, my father doesn't like to deal with shit like that. He doesn't like to deal with sketchy people at all. I was like, yeah, here, take two. I can do that much. And so he walks off, and haven't seen him since. Um, but man, like the tug of war. You want to like help people out, but sometimes it's like, nah, can't do it. It depends on what the situation calls for. Like at work, there's this nerdy kid, and he's really annoying, and nobody wants to work with him really. Um, but if you know, that's a whole different like scenario. Like if somebody ever picked on him or something, I'd get right in their fucking face and be like, this kid comes in every day, he works his job, he's trying to save money to get a car, and he has a future. He's gonna work with his father, doing electrical work. So I would totally defend that kid. That's a situation where I would step up and I would do something. There's another time, this guy that I work with, he's one of us. Like he does some drugs and drinks, and he's a shitbag like the rest of us, that are all in that same belt. And there was this Indian kid who was he was working up at the top of the belt, and he was new, and this other guy was new too, so he didn't really understand the environment yet. Neither of them did, and the Indian kid especially didn't understand the people he was working with at all. We all have a sailor's mouth. We all throw packages. We don't give a fuck. Um, and he was supposed to split. And I talked about splitting before. It's the easiest thing to do in the building. All you have to do is look at odd and even numbers and split them. The kid was just fucking up completely. He wasn't even trying. And it might have been like the warmth of, hey, I have a really easy job to do today, so, whatever. And you don't really invest yourself in it because there's nothing to invest yourself in. There's like, you feel bored, is the point. So this guy comes down to me and he's like, yeah, this curry eating motherfucker is, he's really fucking up today. And I was like, man, don't be like that. Like, don't say those things. He's a person. And you have to go by the individual. Like, it's not because he's Indian that he's fucking up. It's just that he's not cut out for this. So if I can just leave it alone. He at least understood that instead of getting angry. I feel like I'm always like trying to put out fires, and then like I start my own fires, which is like a complete waste of time because I'm supposed to be looking out for me. I'm supposed to be like making sure that I have a good life instead of worrying about everybody else. But I have this drive to help other people, at the expense of my well-being and myself. And I have to gauge like how to do things that are good without fucking myself and without getting in the way of anybody else. It's like how I live with my parents at my age. It's fucked up, but I all I need is a place to lay my head. If I have that, I will do anything. But you guys gave me that, so I will do anything to help out. They have to understand the patterns of the way that people think. The way, like, there are certain things. Um, if I see something that has to be done, I have to think, does my father want to do that? Because he's always looking for things to do. Like, does he want to do that, or is that something I can do that will help him? It's so weird. And but it's important to be that way, to analyze everything, to analyze every situation. This guy today, I couldn't. I was like, no. I was like, I'm starting the work week tomorrow. No, there's too much going on. I got an empty tank right now. I already have to worry about going to get gas and all kinds of shit. Like, I'm not. There's just too much going on. And I was like, I can't help you, dude. And if I helped him again, he would come back another time. So I'm not letting this turn into something where like I'm gonna help this kid every fucking time he needs a favor. He has a friend who screwed me out of $60 because he was supposed to give me a bag of weed, and then the next day the two of them are throwing shit in the camper and getting ready to leave. And I didn't even say anything. I was like, I wasn't even like, "Where's my weed?" I was just like, "Yeah, all right, they're gonna be gone tomorrow. I'll probably never see that $60 again." I could have gone over there with a machete and been like, I need my weed, but to what end? Sometimes you gotta let shit go. And I was fucking with his head when I was driving him, the other day. I was like, "Oh yeah, Steve sort of just disappeared. I gave him $60, and I was like, oh, I didn't know about that." Like, yeah, dude, you probably did. The amount of people that talk behind closed doors in small rooms, socially, like, to just, I'm not a part of anything. I'm a loner. I'm not a part of anything. And people just pretend they think you're stupid. Like, they just pretend like, oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that I know. Like, dude, you guys were fucking best friends, so obviously you knew. You guys are probably laughing about it. Oh yeah, I'm never gonna get him that weed. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what? I don't know, why don't you just ask your friend why am I responsible for this shit? Ask your friend to fucking give you a ride. He doesn't have a place to live. He lives in his van. How can he not drive you to get what you need? I mean, fuck all that shit. I ain't putting myself. I've had the Department of Homeland Security at my doorstep, stressed out my parents. Like, I'm not getting into any of that shit. Anyway, this is fucking stupid. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of people like thinking I'm stupid, that they can take advantage of me or something. Like, no, I will do you a favor, and that's you're welcome for that favor. You're welcome. You don't have to thank me for it, but you're welcome. I just did something for you. I'm not gonna babysit everybody. I can barely take care of myself. It's like, but the shit I do for people, just nobody even cares. They're just like, oh, okay, so they see like an opportunity. They're like, oh, okay, so we can just take advantage of this guy. No, you can't, because I think about these things. Like, I analyze these things. I'm happy to help somebody out. I'm like trying to buy back a piece of my soul for all the stupid shit I've done in my life. And then people just want to like, it's like how they say, like, you give them a finger, they take the whole fucking arm. No, that ain't happening. I'm too old for that shit. Be fooled by that shit. Just a rant. You know me, I like telling stories. I like documenting my life, so yeah, my stupid life. That's it.